Hello friend, welcome to my channel. I am so glad you are here to hear me talk about my body and what is wrong with it. And you might be thinking, Brianna, this is a really bizarre type of content to put onto a channel that you are just starting. Is it though? Because here's the thing. People searching for disability-related content are looking for the truth. And what you're going to find here, or at least I assume they're looking for the truth. And here on The Disabled Diva, you are going to find just that. I am sharing my experience of my life in my currently 36 and a half years living with Charcot Marie Tooth Disease and everything that that means for me. So sit back and buckle up because you and I are about to get to know each other a lot better and a lot more personally as I tell you the parts of my body that don't work properly. I mean, just the thumbs up should give you a little bit of a clue, huh? Okay, here we go. First, allow me to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Brianna. I am the diva behind The Disabled Diva and my other channel, Diva and the Divine. I am a nutrition and wellness coach, and I'm sharing my journey finding better health, wellness, balance, and confidence, and coaching other women to do the same. But here on this channel, I want to focus a little bit more on a part of my life that, while I'm very open about, isn't the focus of my primary content, and that is living with Charcot Marie Tooth Disease. If you are here, you are probably somebody who either has CMT, knows somebody who has CMT, or you have a chronic disability, something similar to CMT, and you are here for the disability content. Whether this is you or you just kind of stumbled upon me by accident, I am so glad you're here today, and I hope that you gained something from this video. Today is actually going to be short and sweet. I just want to break down for you what doesn't work in my body. And there is quite a bit that doesn't work in my body. I find having disability and being a nutrition coach a beautifully ironic thing because being in a line of work that is focused on nutrition and fitness while having a disability, like it's never something that in high school, in college, even in the first handful of years after college, never crossed my mind as in being within the realm of possibility. But yet, here I am creating this content. And you know what? I love it because I love helping other people find their healthiest selves, whatever that means. And for those of us with a disability, it can look very, very different than the average person. So I just want to allow you guys to get to know me a little bit better and my CMT body a little bit better today as we get to know each other through the growth of this channel, okay? First, what type of CMT do I have? I have Charcot Marie Tooth Disease, CMT type 1B, which is a mutation of the myelin protein 0 or MPZ gene, which means there is one goofy little protein in my body that doesn't do what it is supposed to do, and it creates all these problems. Lovely, which is beautifully ironic since I live a nutritional belief that is so focused on protein. Not the same as eating the protein. They're completely different, but it's just ironic in my mind, okay? So not only do I have a rarer form of CMT, but I also rolled the lucky dice and I had infant onset CMT. So when I was born, I could not move a muscle in my body. Literally not a muscle. I could move my eyes. My parents called me the slug baby because they could literally just put me somewhere and I would sit there like a slug. No joke. My family and I got through this by humor. So I'm not at all offended by any of this. It's fine. It's amusing. It is something we laugh about 36 years later. So here's the bizarre thing. CMT, as you probably know, is a progressive disease. But for me, my disease does not really appear to be progressing. Now, it could just be that I haven't hit progression time for my particular version yet, my particular body. It's entirely possible. It's possible that me being active for the last 10 plus years has helped stave off progression. Or it's possible that because I've been infant onset and I have a lot of things that just flat out don't work on my body, that's a lot of the damage. The damage has already been done. That's a possibility. I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional. I can only share with you what I know and what I have experienced through life, right? Okay. So that being said, let's get started with chit-chatting about what doesn't work on my body, because here's the thing. All of these things have not worked almost my entire life. Almost my entire life, okay? Starting with my hands. My hands do not work. My hands, I cannot cup my hands. I can't, this is me cupping my hands, right? This is me cupping my hands. It doesn't work. Do you know what one of the hardest thing is back when paying cash was a thing, was getting handed change. I used to hate getting handed change because these hands These hands, y'all. God bless these hands. Oh my goodness, these hands. I do not have grip strength. I did not learn until my early 30s that there's like this muscle right here is actually a muscle, and that there's supposed to be like meat in this part of my hand. There is no meat here. It is skin on skin, flesh on flesh. There's nothing here. And it wasn't until I touched my sister one day who doesn't have CMT, and I was like, man, you got thick whatever this is. You got a thick one. And then I touched mine, and she's like, wait, what do you have? And she touched me, she's like, whoa. And it was literally the first day that I learned that there's supposed to be muscle here. There's no muscle here. There's nothing. I can't open bottles, which a lot of you with CMT know and understand and experience. I can't pinch. I have to use my nails as leverage for a lot of things. I have to use my teeth as leverage for a lot of things. These hands mostly are purely for show. They get done what they need to get done. And over the years, I have adapted really, really well to what I can and can't do, what I need to ask for help with, and what I can modify and do myself. But these hands, they're something special. Moving right along here, I'm gonna move you down a little bit to talk about my arms, because my arms are confounding even to the doctors that I have talked to. My arms don't straighten, y'all. This is me straightening my arms. This is as straight as they can go. And if somebody came in here and like put a flat surface here and pulled, I would get my arm a little bit straighter, but I have a permanent, like almost 90-degree contraction. Now, admittedly, over the years, this contraction has gotten a bit tighter, but not by much, not by much. And I do not remember a day in my life where I had straight arms. I do not recall. I've always had contracted arms, and I don't know what's causing it. And the funny thing is, the doctors don't know either. I go to the CMT clinic here in the Minneapolis area, and they can't tell. The doctor, the neurologist, who is very well respected in the CMT space, cannot tell me why my arms are like this. Physical therapists cannot tell me why my arms are like this. I have asked anybody with any sort of professional degree in anatomy and physiology, and nobody can give me a straight answer, ha ha ha, about why my arms are like this. Not a person. And my theory is, because I've actually taken anatomy and physiology just for funsies in college, and I know a lot about the basic body functions, right? My theory is I have no tricep muscle function, which is the next thing. So we got my hands, we got to this contracture here. My tricep muscles do not exist. I mean, they're there, they do not fire. They have never fired. I've had an EMG both as a kid and as an adult, and I vividly remember the one I had as an adult was like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. He's shooting me with the needle and everything in my tricep, and he's shocking me, and I'm looking at him, and I was like, what is it saying? And he didn't want to tell me, and I was like, dude, you can tell me. I'm ready for the worst news. And he goes, there's nothing there. I'm barely getting a reading. There's really nothing there, which implies that there's literally zero chance of this ever waking up. So you know, like those wings, those bat wings that people get? My best friend in elementary and junior high school called this my flubber, because it's not actually just my fat, it's a muscle that will not tone. So it's my flubber. This is literally just broken tricep muscle. So that being said, my theory is that since my bicep muscles actually work really well, I'm quite strong in the bicep realm, especially since I've been lifting weights, my bicep pulls and there is no tricep to pull back. Therefore, muscle contracture and arm contracture. That's my theory, but no medical professional has been able to confirm or deny that that is the case, and therefore, we don't know how to fix this problem. Happy day to me. Next, we're gonna talk about the fact that because of this lack of tricep muscle, I can't lift my arms up over my head, y'all. I can't lift my arms up over my head. If I lift my arm up over my head, I gotta psych myself up for this hand. Okay, if I reach for something up high, I get to about there and my arm falls. If I'm like this, I cannot. This is me trying. Talk about embarrassing yourself on the internet, right? We're just getting to know each other, like I said, real well, real fast. So if I'm hanging out here, I cannot. I want you, friends with working tricep muscles, or maybe even just some working tricep muscles, go ahead and get in this position and straighten your arm. Lift your arm up, like, you know, like this, but up here. I am trying, like, wholeheartedly trying. I can't do it. I can't do it, and I can exhaust myself trying. There's gonna be no movement. I cannot lift my arms up over my head. So, of course, my family always found it fun to like prove that I was broken. They would hold my hand and lift it up and then let go, and it would just fall on my head. My hand would just fall on my head. It was one of their favorite games. Again, I love my family, and this was all out of love and not abuse or hate or anything like that. But it was a great way to illustrate how my arms did not work. So I cannot lift my arms up over my head when I am dependent on the tricep muscle. Now, you want the thing that's real funny? If there is something in between my hands, I can do it. I can't straighten them, and it's uncomfortable, and it's really not sexy. Ooh, ooh. But I can get my hands above my head. Not without a lot of tightness and a lot of other problems and raising my heart rate a little bit, but I can do it. So I can actually use a dumbbell or a barbell, and I can lift. Not great, not with any sort of like perfect form or anything, because again, can't straighten my arms. But there's something about having the third, like the thing to lean on, where all of a sudden I become dependent on my shoulder muscles, which are actually very, very strong. And how I adapted most of my life with arm movement was using my shoulder muscles. So they're some of the strongest muscles on my body. But I can do it with something to take the dependency off of the tricep muscles, right? But my tricep muscles, non-existent, don't even exist. Now let's work our way on down the body. And for the rest of this, I'm going to have to use clips of me not sitting here, right? My core, actually, this is something that I have only accepted in recent times. I don't have a very strong core. And this may or may not be CMT related. It's probably somewhat CMT related because I didn't move as much as a kid and an infant and all of that. But I can't do a sit-up to save my freaking life. I can modify it. I can roll onto my side and push up. I can do all of those things. But I can't just like, if I'm laying on the floor without something to like leverage my weight against, I cannot do a sit-up. My core, while is not the weakest thing on my body by any stretch of the imagination, is not also up to snuff. So actually my current fitness goals involve me really working this core. Because I want to be stronger and I want to be able to do more things and I want to be able to not have to lean. Do you have any idea? And you might, because I'm not used to talking to a CMT community. I'm used to talking to my regular Diva and the Divine community, which is not full of disabled human beings. But you guys might actually agree with me when I say, like, do you know how much energy it's taking me to not just lean back right now, but I'm actually like up and holding myself up? I've never been good at doing that for extended periods of time, and it's something that results in a lot of back aching and back tension and shoulder tension. But I do it for the filming because it looks good, right? But my goal is with strengthening my core to be able to do some of this more easily and with less energy drain. Working on my way down the body. The only thing that I think has changed in my life is my calf muscle strength. I used to be able to go up on my toes, and I cannot do that anymore. And it is not uncommon for the calf muscles to be one of the first muscles that start to degenerate with CMT. Now, my goal in life is to start to work them hard enough and challenge them enough, frequently enough, that hopefully I can kind of bounce back before the degeneration really takes its toll. Because in theory, once you lose the muscle to CMT, you can't gain it back. So because I'm realizing I'm starting to lose it, I'm like, oh no, we gotta use what's left to try to do this. So my calf muscles, I think there's still meat up at the top of my calf muscles, but it's down at the bottom that things are a little bit more iffy. Again, and I will share in a different video the exercises I'm doing to try and help mitigate this. But for now, my calf muscles are getting weak. They are not non-functional. I can make them fire just fine, but they are not strong, and they have gotten weaker over time. It is the only muscle in my body that has gotten worse since the beginning of my life. And then let's talk about the other thing that is actually very common with CMT, and that is the muscles in the front of my legs, my shin. I cannot flex my feet. And that muscle is tied from your big toe up through the front of your leg. None of that works. I can make those muscles fire, and it feels like they're firing, but they can't do anything. So here's a video clip of me trying, and I swear to you, I'm giving it the good old college try, using all of the energy I have to try and get these muscles to fire and move. This is me flexing my feet, one at a time, left foot, right foot. And as you can tell, nothing's happening. nothing is happening. Therefore, because I have no function of these muscles, and these are also like my triceps, these muscles have never functioned in my body. My calf muscles have functioned. My flexing muscles have never functioned, my foot flexing muscles. So I've always had foot drop. And while I have learned how to walk with foot drop, and I also have AFO braces to help me on days that I don't have the energy to walk with foot drop, because of the foot drop, I walk funny. I have to lift up my legs so I don't trip over my toes, because unlike regular people who can just get their toes out of their way by pointing and flexing, I don't have the ability to do that. So that's one of the things that I've had to learn to adapt and overcome, and I use mobility aids for, and that is completely fine. So there you go. You have been introduced to my body head to toe. How does CMT affect me physically? That's your answer. Weak hands, weak wrists. My wrists are also contracted, as you can see. Like I have contractures in my wrists. My arms do not straighten. My tricep muscles don't work. My calf muscles are getting weaker, but I'm working on that, and my feet do not flex, and my core is less than stellar. So now that I have introduced you to my body, if you want to share something that doesn't work on your body because of your disability, the comment section is open. I want this channel to be a safe space for you. I want this to be a place that you can come and you can share and you can be part of the community and you can learn and we can grow together, and you leave hopefully feeling positive and hopeful and inspired, and whatever the case may be, as I share my journey through life and the information that I have about CMT, specifically CMT 1B, and what it's like to live with it with you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, as it really does help my baby channel out. And if you would love to join this community, I would love to have you. Just click that little red subscribe button to be a founding member of the Disabled Diva community. Thank you guys so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Take care, be well. Talk to you later. Bye.